everything changes.
All right, now that you know how to read your eBay invoice and how to save it and get it over to your computer or export it into an Excel, I absolutely recommend both. Save the invoice to your computer and then go ahead and move it over to Excel so that we can manipulate it and edit it. I'm gonna take you over to it once it's in Excel and show you how to read the Excel spreadsheet and how to total up different categories, including one that you may need for your sales tax purposes, which we'll discuss in the next video, and how to sort them by state, how to alphabetize them, and how to get the information and numbers that you need off of that Excel spreadsheet for things like your sales tax purposes. So let's jump back over to the computer and check out the after of the eBay invoice inside of Microsoft Excel. Okay, now we're on the main My eBay page, and I just clicked the Orders tab with the Paid and Shipped tab. Okay, now we're on the main My eBay page, and you can just select the Orders screen with Paid and Shipped or Sold, whichever you prefer. Paid and Shipped is what I click on, and it's going to bring up a list of obviously all the items that you've sold and all the ones that have already shipped. You can tell because they have tracking numbers under them, and we want to go ahead and export these to Excel in order to do our sales tax and our numbers. Now, I do this on the first of every month, and I do it for the previous month. So May is getting ready to end, and on June 1st, I will export all of May. Now, you can only do this for 90 days, not 3 months, it's 90 days. I know that sounds like the same, but you can't do, like we're at the end of May, I wouldn't be able to do the previous 3 months. I could only do from May back 30 days, back 30, and back 30, so keep that in mind. The period, I'm gonna go ahead and choose, like I said, I can see all of April, I can see all of March, and I can see the current month, May. And so once June 1st hits, I'll have an option to see from May. And so I would just select that month. Let's say I wanted to do April just for kicks. So I'm going to go ahead and select April. I'll search. It's going to bring me up every item sold in April. And now what I want to do is I want to check all at the top. And there should be an other action or a drop down tab, and it's going to say download. Now, you can only do 200 at a time. So if you have more than 200, you'll have to go download the first 200 and then go to page 2 and download the next set and so on. Just click download. It's going to transfer you over to this download sales history page. Have to give it a few seconds. Once it finishes, it'll go up there to your downloads, which you just saw. And now I have it in my download as sales history. And so then I can go ahead and take it out of my downloads and put it onto my computer. Okay, now that you're on the Excel spreadsheet, this is after you open it, you'll be able to see buyers' names, sales records, phone numbers. I'm going to black all that out so you guys can't see it. But the most important column that you need to see is buyer state. This is going to allow us to sort it so that you can do your sales tax and edit this. So the hover arrow over top of the letter, this is column I. So I'm going to hover over the I and select it. That's going to choose the entire column here and highlight it blue. Then we want to sort it by A to Z. If you look up at the top near Excel, now every version of Excel is different, there's an A to Z sorting. You can just click on that and you can click continue with current selection and sort it. And it has now sorted it by A to Z. So you can see that this person's in Arizona, so that's A to Z. Now this one says weird, this one says buyer state. I don't know why it says buyer state. I have no idea. That's really weird. I would have to look this one up and make sure it's not Florida, but it's probably not. So we scroll down and here is all of my Florida people. And so what I could do is start with this first one, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click it and drag and highlight all the way over to here and drag down to the end of Florida. So I want to make this yellow. And the reason I want to make it yellow is because all of these are Florida people. Now, find any empty box. We have empty box and T. And at the top of Excel, this little E looking thing is a sum. Click sum and then choose all of the totals from Florida and you'll know how much you sold in Florida. So the first number is what you sold it for. The second number is shipping. The third number is shipping and or US tax, I'm sorry. And then the last one is insurance. And then this is the total price over here. So we want to get the total price of all of these. So I'm just going to drag up and hit enter. So I sold $157.42 in May to Florida. Now, our Florida tax is 6%. We also have a county tax. So the first thing I want to do is get the state tax for Florida. So I will multiply that number, sum of, times 0.06. It's $9.45. The second one is my county surtax, which for us is 2.5%. So I'll do it again, times 0.025. And that's $3.94. And then I will do a total of those two numbers. And so my total tax owed for May is $13.38, $9.45 to the state, $3.94 to the county. And so I would do this for each month, January, February, March, and then pay first quarter. April, May, and June is the next set of months that you have to collect for. And so you add all three of those up, you pay the total here in Florida. On the lines, we sorted out by how they ask how much was the state, how much was the county. So that's why we need both numbers. And that's how it works in Florida and how you could easily pay your sales tax. This also gives you a history of all your sales, customers, numbers. You could certainly sort this by alphabetical name and try to see if you have repeat customers. If you have set your eBay up to collect sales tax, which a lot of you did, there is a report inside of eBay. Now, I don't do that. And also going forward with the new laws, you should not have to either. eBay is required to pay for you. As of right now, they're not collecting for Florida, so I'm still doing it. If they're not collecting for your state, you need to do this as well. And you need to pay either monthly or quarterly, whatever your state requires, and do the totals just like I just showed you how to do here. Now, if it's collecting for your state and eBay's paying it, you won't have to do this. But just know that some states require you to still file, even if it's already paid by the third party. You just have to put in that you owe $0, and then you won't mail them any money or pay them any money online, but you still have to file the paperwork or they fine you. So that Florida is one of those states. Even if eBay paid this for me and the $13.38 was already sent, I still have to file one that says that I did $157 in sales and that $13 was paid by eBay and that I owe $0, and here you go, and that's the end of it. A lot of people forget. They get a $50 fine, then they get a late fee, then they get interest, and all of a sudden they owe hundreds of dollars for something that they didn't even owe anything on to begin with, but they didn't do it. So just keep that in mind. So this is your Excel spreadsheet. This is how to track all of your sales, all of your records. Save these every month, just like you did the invoice, and then you'll have a copy of all the sales, and in the event of an audit, you have that record. So I save this as eBay sales May 2019. I save the other one as, eBay invoice May 15th to June 15th, 2019, or whatever, however you want to save it. But you need to have both of these files. I keep every one of them, and this is how I figure out my sales tax.